Alright guys, so I had a few reminders yesterday in the comments that I need to continue my ace eagle holes. So here we go with Ikigai Springs, starting with one of my favorites, hole number 1. This is one of the few holes that's a lot better if you're a lefty, but I'm not, but I still like to go the aggressive route, slide to the left, glide skip rive, bottom chevron right about there, and pretty much any wind you can make this, but you get a dead skip and you're in trouble. See if I can get this first go here. This is 135 with the pure. I like to go forehand because if it misses, it keeps it a little more safe. And oh, we got it first time. See if we can go back to back here. Again, I'm pretty much throwing this line in any wind. Other than a 3 headwind, I'll usually change my course of action, but it is possible to get across. It's just a lot more risky. So here we go. We got a 2 tailwind, so that's pretty favorable here. Any sort of tailwind, especially once you see whenever a 3 wind hits, my eyes definitely light up. This is where it gets dangerous. If you can easily go out of bounds here. You can see the line there, so it's a very common place to go out of bounds, and then you're looking at like a 90 to 100 foot uphill shot that can get pretty tricky. See if we can, yeah, we left that one short, but that would have been an easy birdie there. Let's see what we get. So this is like the toughest wind here, so I'll show you. Hopefully we can get it to go. I usually lower my aim a little bit, then I put a little bit more hyzer on it to kind of combat the headwind, and there you go. You can see that you can still make it, still give yourself a shot at eagle even in the worst wind. So this hole isn't that easy, even going the safe route, especially in this wind. So even if it's a 3 wind, I'm still sometimes throwing this shot. I couldn't quite get the eagle, but another easy birdie. And let's see, and if you get a wind like this, then my eyes really light up, because you can really put a little flex on it and let the wind take it, and usually you end up on that top level up there. Even if you bounce along the side of this hill, usually you're gonna, oh, that was cutting it close, but we ended up safe. And there you go. Look at that, 68 feet for a little eagle. Hard to beat that. Definitely worth it. So whenever I see those 2 or 3 headwinds, whether I'm down or up, I'm usually going for that no matter what. Again, if you're lefty, it makes it that much easier. But if you haven't tried this line yet and you're somewhat of an aggressive player, I suggest you check it out. Here's another 3 wind. And there's a dead skip. So that's the danger right there. Once you do that, it's tough to save par. You can do it. It's not easy, especially in that wind, but once you get a dead skip, it kind of screws you over a little bit. Here's a 1 wind. This is perfect. We want to try to stay up on this top level. Sometimes you can go too far to the right and end up down in the bottom, which makes it tough. 147. Again, I like to go forehand with the pure, just to make my misses a little safer. This is nice, dead center. So Ikigai Springs 1. This is kind of the safe route here. I like to aim at that tree and then just put a big hyzer on it. It's hard to kind of miss all these trees, but this is, oh dang, that's about as good as you can get right there. I mean, that's going to almost give me a look at eagle. But even with that perfect drive from that side, you got a tough upshot, and if you really go for it and you miss, you're in trouble. So it's just a much more difficult angle at your eagle. So you're pretty much playing for birdie even with an awesome drive like that. So yeah, that's my safe line though. I just kind of aim at that tree. I'll slide to the left, then just put a big hyzer on it. Some people go wide right of all the trees, which is probably the smarter thing, but here's another really good one. Was able to get through all the trees, only 182 out. Again, not going to be running this, just throwing it up there for my birdie. But I'm rarely throwing this route. Again, like I said, I really like the other route. I feel like it gets me more eagles than pars or bogeys, so I feel like it's worth it to me to take the risk. Obviously it backfires at times, but when it pays off, you're definitely usually getting strokes on the card. Oh, look at that wind. So anytime I see this wind, I'm going for it no matter what. Put a little bit of flex on it. Let that wind take the disc. Nice big skip. Get up top. Oh yeah. Oh man, that's going to be too far. We almost, every once in a while you'll get up to the same level as the basket too. So that's always sweet to have a tap in or less than 50. But there you go. There's our eagle. Hope you enjoyed that line. If you haven't tried it, definitely give it a whirl. I love this hole. Always a good chance of getting strokes on your opponents. But there you go. There's hole number 1 of Ikigai Enzo. And by Enzo, I mean Ikigai Springs. But let's move on to hole number 2.